Welcome to DevOps World. This is Harish Kumar Reddy. So previously we discussed about user defined commands, and right now we are trying to continue this topic. Okay, so let's, if you doesn't see my video, please try to go with my previous video and try to continue today. Okay, so basically my intention is I want to go from basic level to up to hard level. Okay, so please try to understand why I'm going with the Linux commands. Okay, so it is very simple and very easy to understand, so that it will be integrated with the DevOps. Okay, so this is what my intention. It is completely free, guys. Please try to go with this, watch this video. Okay, so fine, guys, let's start the class. So we are trying to go with what kind of commands right now. Here is in Linux I already defined that the first one is user defined commands, and we already discussed about system defined commands, and third one we are trying to go with packages, and fourth I'm trying to discuss about bash scripting. Okay, so now what I want to go here is, now I want to go with the system defined commands today. System defined commands. So what is system defined commands here? System defined commands will integrate with the admin role. Okay, so we are trying in Linux, basically we are working with system defined commands, so based upon the admin role in Linux. Okay, so in Linux, now what we are trying to go with system defined commands. Okay, system defined commands is already ready made. Okay, so but now we need to see how the system defined commands will be found here. Okay, so for the first one we'll try to go with practical, guys. It will be very easy to understand. Okay, so for this I'm already opened my AWS account from my side. Those who don't know what is this AWS instance, please try to watch my how to connect the AWS account and how we can try to create an instance in this my previous video I have. Please try to refer that video. So now I'm trying to connect the server. I have already my AWS instance server, so because I'm not using any manual versions, I'm using ready-made versions. Okay, so just try to connect the server. So I'm using MacBook, guys. Please try, if you're working with Windows, don't worry, it will be very easy only. So currently how we can connect the server I can tell you, so please try to refer my previous video. It will be very useful for you. Okay, so you need to install Git Bash for this, for Windows laptop, and even in MacBook also we need to install Git Bash. Okay, so because we are working on client terminals. Okay, so for this I'm trying to go with Git Bash now. So currently my file is currently in downloads, so cd downloads. Okay, so let's clear the screen. Now in this downloads I have a file, actually, that is PEM file. So currently I have my PEM file here. See here, my PEM file is here. Okay, so wherever you have a key, please try to go there and you can connect the server. That will be very important, actually. Suppose your key is in somewhere in download folder, you are opening in desktop, that is not right path. So please try to go wherever you have a key, right click on this, open Git Bash here. Okay, so now I'm connecting the server. Okay, so currently I was in download currently, so I am connecting the server. In Windows you don't want to mention this, please try to go with that directly. So wherever you have a file, suppose if your file is in downloads, so go there, right click on this, you'll get one option, open Git Bash here. open git bash here. In the same way, in MacBook also, I am trying to go with download folder. I am working with the connection. So if you're in Windows, please try to go with like this. Okay, you can copy this one, you can paste there in your key file, near the key file. Okay, in git bash terminal, enter, click on yes. Yeah, server is connected. See here, server is connected. Welcome to Ubuntu 22.4 LTS version. This is called client terminal. Okay, from client terminal to I'm working with AWS account. Okay, let's clear the screen. Now I'm trying to discuss about the system defined commands. Okay, so basically if you're working on system defined commands, it will be very easy, guys. So suppose I'm opening Google, guys. I'm opening Google. Okay, in Google, this is the web page actually, you know, right? So this is the web page. Right click on this, you will get some source code, I think, right? So you'll get like this source code. What is this actually? What is this actually? Basically, if you're getting source code in web page, so how can you retrieve the code in Linux? How can you retrieve the code in Linux? Okay, so basically you are using manual page here. We are not doing anything else. Okay, so the basically what we are trying to do here, this is a Google is a web page where we are trying to right click on this. So we can see the view page source code. Okay, so now in this case of scenario in Linux, suppose if your developer want to give the code for you, how can you retrieve the code in admin level? Okay, so for this what I can do here is, so you have one command, guys, that's very important command, because in servers basically you are using this command in your day-to-day scenarios, that is curl. Curl stands for it's a uniform resource locator. So wherever you have a source code, definitely we are using curl here. Curl is a uniform resource locator where we are working with the official source code management under your manual page to Linux server. Okay, so for this I am trying to retrieve the source code in from web page to our servers. Okay, www.google.com. so I want to open the google.com source code. Okay, so check URL path. Okay, see here, this is a source path. This is a completely source code which I got. Okay, so I'm getting web page, I'm getting all these things. Okay, so this is what we are trying to do now. Okay, so basically what my intention is, so I don't want to open the directly manual process, I want to work on the admin process. Okay, so it is very helpful for your deployment, guys. If you want to do, so if you want to open the servers like Tomcat server, if you want to open the any web page from your side, curl will be very useful. If you open the Docker also, you need to useful this one only. Okay, so this is how we can retrieve the source path, that is direction path under the Linux servers. Okay, now let's clear the screen, guys. Now I want to go with one more command, guys. So basically if you want to see the passwords of Ubuntu, so basically if you want to see the passwords of your Ubuntu server, how can you see this? So basically it's very easy. Cat, I'm using cat/etc/password. etc/password. See, we got all the passwords. We like use this is all the passwords. So cat/etc/password. So I'm currently working on Ubuntu only, right? I'm currently working on Ubuntu. Actually, these passwords I don't know. Okay, because these are server commands. Okay, but here I'm working with Ubuntu currently because I got Ubuntu here. See, Ubuntu. So this is my life of the Ubuntu. That is, I'm working with home Ubuntu bin bash. That's it. Very simple. Okay, so I'm using bin bash. Basically you need to see the passwords. The passwords will comes under the cat etc password. Okay, so now, okay, let's so now if you want to go with, suppose you don't know what is Linux commands, you need to study that in detail. For this, what we can try to do, we are using man. So man is a command where we can see entire your Linux material, like entire your Linux commands completely. Okay, suppose I don't know ls. ls stands for list, right? So previously we discussed that one. ls stands for list. So I want to see the list. This is completely like ls stands for listing directories contents, and this is we are working with options and we are working with all these commands. Okay, so basically my intention is I'm not so if you don't know what is a command, try to retrieve this. Okay, so please study according to the your requirement. Okay, so man will be very helpful to work on the progress. Q stands for quit. Okay, suppose if I don't know what is I want to know what is curl, curl. So I want to see the curl. See, basically, recently we seen so far the curl, right? Curl stands for transfer the URL, uniform resource locator. Okay, so curl is a tool to transfer the data of your server. It will protocols of DTCT, file, FTP, file transmit protocol, and we have all these like HTTP ports. Okay, so basically you are doing that. So you are trying to know about what is this actually. That is comes a picture of man. Okay, so the next one is we are trying to go with, suppose I want to filter the passwords. How can you filter your passwords? Suppose I want first half. I want first half. For this, what I can go here is I can go with head. See here, head slash etc slash password. Okay, so first I can go for first half because I don't want entire passwords. First I can go with first half, and remaining will get all last half. Okay, so we don't have any mid, so definitely we have last half. Okay, so for this I'm using tail slash etc slash password. Okay, so now we are trying to go with this. Okay, so basically what I want to say here is we are trying to go with head, first half will be displayed, and whatever you are trying to go with tail, last half will be displayed, remaining half will be displayed. Okay, so currently I have in tail part. Okay, so this is what we are trying to go with head and tail. Head will try to go with first half and tail will go with remaining half. Okay, that will be displayed very easily if you want to see the filter your passwords. Okay, next we are trying to go with so the next commands which we are trying to go netstat hyphen tunlp. This is a network static protocol. Okay, so we are trying to go with network static protocol. So for this we need to install the tool. Okay, so for this we are trying to go with sudo apt we need to install. So we need to install, it is asking some upgrade tool. Okay, okay, let's fine, we'll try to do this. So see here, it is updating. Okay, now we can go with netstat hyphen tunlp. Okay, so now I'm trying to update this. See, this is our server protocol. Okay, we are trying to go with TCP, TCP6 and UDP, unique control protocol. Okay, TCP stands for transmit control protocol. We have local IP address and we have all these things. Okay, this is completely server admin role. Okay, admin role. Next we are trying to go with IPR. IPR stands for Internet Protocol Recursive. We are trying to go with Internet Protocol Recursive. So what is Internet Protocol here? So basically I'm using private IP address. This is my private IP address. As you know this, we are working with private IP address currently. I'm working on Ethernets and we are working with source code and DHCP link. Okay, that is my router is connected here. So this is what we are trying to do. Next we are trying to go with next one is we are using PS. PS stands for process state, guys. We are using process state. Currently what kind of process you are doing? You are doing bash. So currently you are working with bash with ID. So 1220, this is the ID and we are working with the bash. Okay, so next we are trying to go with PS-VEF effective force. We are working with effective force. So currently if you want to see the entire detailed information, currently we are using effective force for this. Okay, so for this what I can do, I can go with Ubuntu. See, currently I'm working with Ubuntu only. So I'm working with the Ubuntu, I'm working with the bash. So basically what I want to say here is we are working with process state. So process state will comes a picture of current what we are doing, and process state -ef means we are working with entire scenarios, that is in detail about information about the process state. Okay, next we are trying to go with env, environment. We are working on environment. So what kind of environment you are working? I'm working with home Ubuntu only. I'm working with environment home Ubuntu. So login as Ubuntu. I'm working with home Ubuntu. Okay. So basically what I want to say here is environment will works under your server and according to your according to the home paths. Okay. So this is what we are trying to do. Okay, next we are trying to go with, so let's clear the screen guys to understand the some more concepts. Now I want to work on the I want to upgrade the servers. I want to upgrade the Ubuntu server. Whatever I have a server, I want to upgrade the server. For this I am going with sudo apt -get update, sudo apt-get update. So I'm updating the server guys, because in DevOps we need to update the servers. That's very important. For this we are trying to update the servers. So I just updated the server. Now I want to upgrade the server. So what kind of version we are trying to use now? Okay, so for this I'm using sudo apt-get upgrade. So I'm trying to upgrade this sudo apt-get upgrade. So I'm trying to go with, I'm upgrading my server. Okay, so this is what we are trying to do now. So basically these commands are very helpful for your server commands guys. That is all about my intention. So I'm trying to do this. So it is upgrading the server. It will take some time. Yes, see here it is upgrading my server. Okay, done. So my server is upgraded. So currently whatever I have a server, it is upgraded, completely upgraded. Okay, so now I have next command guys. We are trying to go with if config. So what do you mean by if config? If config stands for if configuration. We are trying to, so if config means we are trying to see the current configuration. We have two types of configurations here. The first one is Ethernet, second one is flags. Okay, the first one is Ethernet. Ethernet will create a universal IP address. And coming to flags, it is showing the temporary what kind of functionality you're using in servers. Okay, for this we are using flags. Okay, that is comes a picture of if config. Next, I want to see my host name -i. So I'm using I. So what is my host name private IP address? This is my private IP. This is my host name -i. So next I'm trying to see the live. I want to see the live of my server. Okay, I want to see the cloud, whether it is working or not. For this I'm using ping. I'm using ping. I'm trying to go with private IP address. So you can copy this, you can paste it here. Sorry. So first I'll try to go with this. Excuse me guys. So this is not actually, this is, I want to go with private IP address. Okay. So 172.31.38.28. Okay, so this is my private IP address live. So I'm working with my server currently, that is AWS cloud. I'm working with this is completely working with the packets actually. So packets means that is how much the server is working internally under backside. Okay, that is backside we are working on. Okay, so currently I was stop these packets. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to do here is whether my backend server is working or not. For this I'm trying to go with this. Okay, so now next we are trying to go with dual ports. So dual ports means, so like in your house you have a lot of partitions, right? In the same way in Ubuntu also we have a partition, that is file system. That is file system. In file system, it's basically if you're creating any server, file system is very important, because every organization using file system only currently. For this we are using dual ports. Okay, so dual ports, that is we have a blocks and we have availability, how much you have a space, how much you are used, how much you are working on. So that is buffer. We are working on buffer. That is we are trying to do that. Okay, next we are trying to go with df-th type. So we are working with type. So type means previously we are using only the blocks. Currently what kind of type we are using in this particular file system? and moreover its size will be reduced. So we don't want to see the entire size, we are using reducing the size, that is type DH, that is horizontal. We are trying to work on this horizontal. Okay, so next I am trying to go with ID. ID stands for what kind of ID you are using. I am working on Ubuntu currently. I am working on Ubuntu currently. So this is my entire detailed information about the ID. Okay. So next I am trying to go with W. W stands for what kind of so W stands for currently I'm working with the current user, that is Ubuntu, and process state will be going on, and this is subnet mask, and we are trying to go with login timings. Okay, so now next I can go with dig. So I want to see the application details. For this I'm trying to go with www.facebook.com. Okay, so I'm trying to go with my Facebook. So dig means searching. We are trying to search the files. Okay, that is application. Okay, so these are entire details of Facebook application officially. Okay, officially we are trying to do this. Okay, so if you want to see the entire details of your Facebook application, we are trying to go with this. Okay, so next we are trying to go with one more dig www.gmail.com. I want to see the details of gmail.com. So Gmail, see, this is completely different. This is different and this is different. I'm working with Facebook here, I'm working with Gmail here. Okay, I'm working with Gmail here. So currently what we are trying to do here is we are working on Gmail authentications. Okay, so this is what we are trying to do. And finally I want to see the host. I want to work on google.com. So I want to see the host of google.com. So this is the host. Okay, so if you want to see the complete details of Google, please try to see this. So host google.com. Okay, I'm working on this. Okay, so finally I want to see the entire details of history of server commands. I can go with history. Okay, so these are the things which I was done from my side. Please follow this nearly 30 commands which I was done from here. Okay, escape, I'm trying to copy there because it will be very useful for you. Okay, okay, let's go with these server commands. So I'm working with server commands. Okay, these are the commands which I was used. Okay, so these are day-to-day routine for the admin role. No need to worry about this. Now let's go with one more thing, that is packages. I'm working with packages, guys. I want to show you the package. So what is package actually? So package is nothing but, suppose if I want to install any server, so we need to maintain the package, that is backend servers. So package will works under the data warehouse. Okay, so we are working on data warehouse. Okay, so on Ubuntu servers. Okay, so by using a branching technique. Okay, we are using branching technique. Okay, so basically we are working on branching technique for this. We need to go with branching technique. What kind of technique here is, suppose previously we discussed about D1, D2, D3, right? Now I want to show you the graphical representation. So basically in packages I want to note. So my intention is I want to show you the graphical representation. Okay, so I'll try to show you this one. In D1 I want to go with F1. I want to maintain the file F1. In D2 I want to go with D2. In D2 I want to go with F2. So basically we need to do this. This is the branching actually. Okay, so D3 I'm going with F3. In D4 D4, I'm going with F4. F4. In D5, I'm going with F5. F5. Okay, so I want to show you the graphical, I want to mention the graphical things here. I want to mention the graphical things. For this, we are trying to go with, this is my, I want to show you the final output for this. So final output is we are working on graphical user interface. We are working on graphical user interface. Okay, so now I'll try to show you this now. So it's very simple, guys. Let's clear the screen. Let's clear the screen. Okay, so now if I go with ls, I don't have any files. I don't have any files. For this, I want to create a files for this. So if I want to create the file, first we need to create a folder. Okay, so mkdir d1 cd d1. Okay, touch F1. So currently mkdir d1 cd d1. In d1 I have F1. If I go with ls, I have F1 here. Now if I go with mkdir d2 cd d2, touch F2. If I go with ls, in d2 I have F2, right? So now mkdir d3 cd d3, touch F3. mkdir d4 cd d4, touch F4. Okay, mkdir d5 cd d5, touch F5. So this is what we are trying to do. If I go with pwd, so I got d1. So this is comes a picture of path. So this is comes a picture of absolute path. Okay, if you want to see the files of developer norms. Okay, so developer will create a multiple files, that is d1 in d2, d2 in we have d3, d3 we have d4, like this. Okay, so basically what is my intention is I want to work on this progress. Okay, so now if I go with cd /home /ubuntu. Okay, so now I want to go with d1. See here, if I was creating d1, there is no command actually. So now we need to create a branching for this. So what is a branching here? Tree is a branching. So we are trying to discuss about the tree d1. So I want to see the graphical notation. I want to see the final output, that is graphical notation, because tree will be creates a multiple branching according to the structure. Okay, so for this I want to install tree, sudo apt install tree. So I want to install tree here. Okay, so I'm installing tree. So now if I was install tree, now I get graphical notation, tree d1. So this is what my final output. This is what my final output. So in d1 I have f1, in d2 I have f2, in d3 I have f3, in d4 I have f4, in d5 I have f5. So basically why we are using this one is, so whenever the developer is giving the multiple files to you, how can you see the graphical structure? Because we don't want to open them manually. We need to see automation purpose. Okay, so for this we need to use install the tree. Okay, so this is what we are trying to create a package. Okay, it's very simple guys and very easy. Okay, it will be very useful for your next coming DevOps. Okay, so this is my intention. Tomorrow we are trying to discuss about the bash scripting guys. That is we are working on programming. Okay, so please try to see my videos. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask me in comment section. Okay, so I'll come to live guys very soon. So if you have any doubts, feel free to ask me in DevOps career. I'll definitely help you on this. Okay, so this is what we are trying to do now. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you guys and have a nice day.